To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Bored housewives, so they're generally hitting the Moscato too because they need something sweet in their lives because their husband is sour. That ring on your finger? Some pygmy died digging that out of a hole for you to say I do and ruin some guy's like, yeah, look at that dude. He's got a hernia that's shaped like a bag of pretzels that he just ate. You're going to Thailand, you're going to smash some dude. Going over there for guy time, but it's not with his buddies. What does it say on the bottle? Well, if it says that on the bottle, why did you put it on your head? All these actors did was shut their mouths because they didn't want to be run out of Hollywood. Now a bad batch of Chinese food has you blowing insurance premiums on vitamin fucking D.
Too much.
That's what we're
I
going
sound like
for
Bill
here.
Maher. Really, John?
Really?
We can't do this anymore, Auntie. I'll see you at the bar mitzvah. It's almost like it never existed, but it fucking did. So do me a favor. Go yourself.
Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Sandbox. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Also, if you want to contact me directly, just go to my website, positivesarcasm.com, click on the contact section. There's a link there. You can send me all your information. If you're looking for closing music because you're getting ready for a fitness show, you can email me there. Or you could just go directly to me, like directly, like positivesarcasm@outlook.com. There's also affiliate links for the Webull app if you want to trade some stonks. If you want to use the Coinbase app, if you want to use Cash App, there's a bunch of them there. Check them out. Any and all concerns, you can email me directly, of course. Also check out my all my YouTube channels, and of course, if you need to go through the old social medias instead, facebook.com/POSSarcasm or facebook.com/positivesarcasm, Instagram @positive_sarcasm, and TikTok at Positive Sarcasm. I don't know if I'm gonna have TikTok after this week's video, but as you can see, I am or if you can, if you're listening to the audio portion of this podcast, which is available on pretty much every streaming platform there is. If there's one I'm not on for some reason, please let me know, and I'll see if I can accommodate that. But I am flying the red, white, and blue today. I'm draped myself in it. I believe there is a clause that says you can't wear the American flag, but I think we're going to let it slide today. I'm sure some of you know why this past week, or especially today. Today is Thursday as I'm recording this podcast, and a major victory for people all over the United States, and I figured just wrap myself in the American flag. I think that'd be the proper thing to do. But it's early into January, and I have a feeling that people are just already exhausted. You know, you can only fight and work and put up long hours for only so long until you're just emotionally and physically exhausted, or at least when you're emotionally exhausted or stressed to the point of just craziness, that you eventually do become physically exhausted, physically sick, and it's a stressful time right now for a lot of different factors. There's people still looking for housing. Even though there's a work shortage, there's people looking for jobs because they're moving to states, or they have to move from job path to job path because of whatever reason. There's all kinds of, there's information overload, misinformation overload. There's partisan stuff going on, and it's a lot. It's always a lot to take in. We've never really been in a situation where we've been, like, in any time in history, trying to absorb as much information and trying to parse through as much information as we have ever in history today. So I'm sure a lot of you are just experiencing overall overload or just plain burnt out. So I do want to keep this somewhat educational. There is a user on YouTube, and I just want to get, it's like 7 signs you're just burning out. It's Psych to Go. It's got 8 million subscribers. Excuse me, 8.37. Don't want to sell them short. And we'll just go right through it. 7 signs you're burnt out and you just don't realize it. But I'm sure you realize it. But it's just to justify your position. And I know you have to push through so many things in in life, regardless of whether or not you're burnt out or not. But it is important to know your own mental state so that you can prepare better going forward. So if you ever experience this again, you'll know what to do, because it is important to know your own psyche and your own limits, to know how far past you can push them, or if you're just running red line to the point where you're just going to break out. So let's just go into that and see how this pans out for you. If you're listening, just go ahead and listen. If you're watching, yes, I do have there is a video portion of this.
Goers, do you have times where you just feel out of touch with yourself, your friends, or your passions, or all of the above? Everybody has off days.
No shit.
But do you get the sense that these events are happening a little more than you'd like?
Like this
If so,
ASMR
you may be
girl.
experiencing burnout. Burnouts are your body's way of telling you that you're getting exhausted emotionally, physically, and mentally. It's usually caused by extreme and prolonged stress. If you go a long time without addressing these issues, you may spiral and worsen, and it can cause lowered self-esteem and even depression. So to help you be more aware of your mental and emotional well-being, here are 7 signs that you're burnt out. Number 1, you're procrastinating a lot. Are you constantly putting off things that need to get done? One behavioral symptom of burnout is withdrawal from responsibilities. The laziness you're currently experiencing may actually be a cry for help. This continuous act of task aversion may also be because you're afraid of failing tasks you're supposed to complete. It may help to talk to someone about the current pressure and stress you're feeling, and to take some time off until you're feeling better. Number 2, you're isolating yourself from others. Are you tired of socializing? Do you frequently want time only for yourself? Because of exhaustion, the act of seeing and talking to people may feel too tiring to think about. You may feel that you only talk about work, life responsibilities, which may add to the stress you're trying to avoid. Remember that time alone is important, but emotional isolation is dangerous. This disengagement might be a symptom of depression. Talking to a therapist may prove to be a great help to your mental state. Help is always available. According to statistics, only a small percentage of you who watch our videos are actually subscribed. So if you haven't, and at the end of the video you enjoy what you see, do consider subscribing.
There's the
It would
pitch.
help a lot with YouTube's algorithm in promoting more of our mental health content.
Honey, don't
Thanks
worry
for
about
being
YouTube's
here.
algorithm.
Number
You
3,
just keep doing your
you're
thing.
becoming very impatient.
Yep.
Is everyone getting on your nerves? Does every little thing, no matter how trivial, make you irritated?
Yep.
This may be a sign of underlying stress and anxiety.
Really?
A lifestyle cause of burnout is working too much, without enough time for socializing or relaxing. This onslaught of negative emotions may be a result of not having enough support from friends and loved ones. So having a healthy social life outside of your work or school life is beneficial to your mental health and may reduce the chances of burning out. Number 4, you can't sleep.
I can't.
No matter how tired you are during the day.
Oh, she's
Is
yawning.
going to sleep at night a struggle? There was a study that observed the association between insomnia and job strain. They discovered that insomnia is strongly linked with burnout. Lack of sleep may also bring about higher chances of high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and more. The bottom line is that you need sleep. Some home remedies for insomnia are to stick to a sleeping schedule, stay active, and to limit caffeine and alcohol from your diet.
Okay.
Although insomnia is a common sleep disorder, it can really bring severe issues to your health. A physical exam performed by a medical expert might also help you get a diagnosis and treatment for your lack of sleep. Number 5, your previous hobbies no longer excite you. Do you still find joy in the activities you used to love? If the answer is no, then this disinterest may stem from being emotionally drained. Continuous disinterest and lack of willingness to do anything is also another symptom of depression. It may help to reach out to those who are close to you and tell them about your troubles, and to spend time doing new things. Try to limit talking to people who make you feel bad about yourself, since they can only worsen the situation. And instead, you can find new friends and enjoy their eccentricities. Keep in mind that you're not alone in feeling burned out. A lot of people can relate to you, so don't be afraid of opening up. Number 6, your work or school performance is deteriorating. Are you frequently coming in late? Are your numbers of absences starting to tally up? Burnouts can be overwhelming, so you might find yourself doing almost anything to avoid your responsibilities. At times like these, it may help to think back on why you're doing what you're doing. Why did you choose this field in the first place? When was the last time you genuinely smiled? Go back to your positive days and surround yourself with the thoughts, people, and acts that make you happy. And number 7, you turn to addictive habits for comfort, like smoking, drinking, or eating, etc. When hopelessness, fear, and many other negative emotions drown you, self-medication may seem like a helpful way out. Self-medication is the use of alcohol, drugs, and other methods to manage a mental health issue. What is often overlooked is the fact that this is only a temporary solution to a permanent problem. It may lead to addiction and increased health problems. And yes, even food is a form of self-medication. If you recognize this symptom in yourself, it may help to recognize your triggers and to slowly change your harmful habits to healthier ones to help you cope. There are numerous ways to adopt better, sustainable habits, like exercise for one, is proven to boost your mood and promote calm feelings. And of course, a visit to a therapist or a licensed medical professional can help in further treatment. Do you think you're burnt out? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with those who might benefit from it. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to get notified whenever Psych2Go posts a new video. The references and studies used in this video are added in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you.
So that is 7 signs you're burnt out and you don't realize, don't realize it. This is Psych2Go, PSYCH 2go.com or .com on YouTube. Excuse me. And it doesn't, what I like about the video is it's not mocking. I know we kind of laugh at the, what do you call it? Simplicity of how it all kind of the simplicity of each and every single sign, but it is that simple. Like, for example, I get burned out all the time. Like, it talks about just your constant work and work and work. Like, I don't stop anything until it's like bed, or what, it's till I have to go to bed. And then there are days, especially on podcast days and on editing days, where I have to have this done by this time, so I can immediately start to upload it and have that done for the next phase of it, which is editing and getting it ready that way. These are all important things that I have to do. I cannot be lazy. I cannot, number one, procrastinate on any of these portions. But you do this week in and week out, or some podcasters or some creators day in and day out, or if you're working excuse me, Chase, you're working 8-12 hours a day. I know that there's no excuse. Well, this is not an excuse. This is a mental state that you sometimes get into when you are just burnt out. And even if you love what you're doing, whether you're a full-time employee, full-time student, or a full-time creator, or a full-time business, or whatever, if it's half and half, you still get burnt out. And it's important to know these signs that when you kind of need to pull back, at least at some portion. It's especially right now with everything going on, you can absolutely get burnt out, and you have to remember what it's like to just, like, maybe smile or just chill out, or remember what you like to do, or where you like to, if you just like to sit on a Sunday morning and have a nice coffee, or visit family, or hang out with friends, or just something that kind of ties you back into life, is an important factor in our everyday lives that allows us to just remind us why we do this whole rat race to begin with. You know, I know that life is a struggle. It's suffering. You struggle to move up the ladder of your own self-meaning, your own self-satisfaction, or the well-being of helping others, or something to that effect. But everybody, I'm sure even Elon Musk has times where he's just fried, where his little computer brain eventually is just like, I have to stop what I'm doing. I mean, this guy's been, like, divorced like 2 or 3 times. I mean, he can get burned out as well. So nobody's immune to it. No one. I don't think Jocko Willink is immune to this. He has moments of weakness or when he needs to just chill out. Everybody does. But this should allow you to tighten up your schedule to the point where, like, okay, if I'm procrastinating here, maybe there are ways where I can, work smarter. Because if you're constantly doing this thing that takes forever to do, you have to think to yourself, is there a better way that I could perform this task, no matter how, stupid the task is or simple? I mean, it's like, I know you do things like in 20-minute. I've talked about this. What can I be doing at this moment to better myself in this situation? What situation are we talking about, and how important is it at that very moment? Is it a 1 hour, something that takes an hour to do? Can I break it down to 45 minutes, 30 minutes? Can I break it down to 20-minute increments? And that, remember, you're training your brain. At that point, when you start doing something like that, you're training, I think, personally, I could be wrong, I think that you're training your brain to think in 20-minute increments, to constantly be on the go. And then I don't know if your brain just stops. My opinion is, if it doesn't stop, like you go to bed, but you're still thinking about stuff, you're still like, I can get this done, this done, and this done, and this done. It's like, I think you also have to be like, train your brain to be like, I've done everything that's possible that's possible within this time period of the day. And I think and then you have to set yourself up with like, okay, now it's time to start getting ready for sleep. Instead of just pushing, it's like, well, if I stay up 1 more hour, I can get these tasks done. Well, it's like, well, if you try to stay up an extra hour or two, get these tasks done, you may achieve them. You may also make those completed tasks worse, where if you were on a full night's sleep, they might have been completed better. And you've also potentially risked the quality of the tasks that you're going to complete the next day. And I know, and this also depends on your age, too. Your age, your physical status, absolutely, all of it matters 100%, and you need to take it into account. And balance is the key to putting all this together. Now, there are days when you are 60%, you're more 60-40, you have the balance all in line. And there are days where it's like 30-70, where you can do a little bit, and you just gotta kind of let the rest of the day kind of, I don't know, absorb you. But knowing that you're burnt out, knowing that you're fried, especially if you're like a college student, or you like, if you work for a living, but you also run like a small business on the side, or you hustle, listen, they call it a side hustle for a reason. You're hustling. You're doing something that you're burning past that 40-hour designated time slot that you're designed to work to make money. And now you're going beyond that because you seek something in the future. That will also that'll also burn your candle out to the point where you're fried faster. But there is that light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, man, I'm so glad I went the extra mile in those critical moments, or those few years where I'm now looking at the situation where I am today, and it's like, now I can kind of feast on the creations of my hard work. I think that's super important. So I think, and that's one of the things I want to convey to you. It's like, I'm not immune to it. That's one of the ways I get sick, is by just running my ass down to the ground, where the point where I'm just so freaking exhausted that I just, then like a free week comes up, or like that, a few days to just chill out and relax, and the first thing that happens is I get sick. That's generally what happens. So so we're gonna, if you have more questions about that, once again, that's Psych to Go on YouTube, and go ahead and check them out. So let's actually just go right into Q&A. I'm gonna make it a really short week because I have because of things like burnout and hard work. It's like I've been working with some clients, and one of them has a really tight schedule. So I've been spending most of the last 2 weeks just editing, and it's been tough getting it right, especially since I didn't shoot the footage. And I didn't have and two, I didn't have a lot to work with. But hopefully, the client is satisfied. But in either case, let's go ahead and get to a full Q&A session, and then we'll close up shop for this week. Okay? So, once again, if you want to support this podcast and all things PS, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. So, let's go ahead and get some strong Q&A in. Why can't I call my girlfriend irrational or ask her if she's on her period when she's mad at me? Ouch. All right. Let's see. My reaction to is to cite the reasons why. Let's see. Sorry. Like I said, been a long week. I'm a little burnt out. Maybe I need some sleep. Okay. All you want to do is hear me and acknowledge or take accountability. I've been accused of gaslighting, which I don't feel like I am doing, but I'm willing to consider. It is simply not acceptable to point out irrationality or overreaction anymore. Okay, what are you talking about? This looks like a fucking. Just talk about your girlfriend, say what you did, and see what the problem is. Okay. All you want to do is hear me. Okay, which I don't. You know, sometimes I have to reread these and be like, what the hell are these people talking about? Okay. Well, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. If it's in the Washington Post, chances are it's pretty stupid. So, look. The actual question on top there. Why can't I call my girlfriend irrational or ask her if she's on her period when she's mad at me? Well, you don't want to... First of all, it's a little aggressive if you're going to say, are you on your period again? Every time that she's mad at you. Well, first of all, did you actually fuck up? Did you actually do something? If your loved one is mad at you for some reason, you need to figure out if you actually did something wrong. If you did, if you clearly did something that you do repetitiously that annoys them, or if you did do something stupid, like for example, put a dent in the bumper or forget to put your clothes in the dryer or something like that, and they're upset at you about it, try to rectify the situation and fix it. All right? But just every time saying going to, oh, you must be on your period, that's a once a month argument that you're planning to put yourself in, and it's not a good idea. Now, being irrational is something you better have evidence to back up with. Saying that you're being irrational, well, you have a fighting chance to possibly prove that. However, if she's asking whether or not, if she's mad at you and you're asking whether or not she's on her period, is basically an invitation to a fight. And that is one that's easily avoidable. So my suggestion is you need to come across with a smarter statement. Or what is the issue that I can help you with? What is actually bothering you? And then see if you can rectify the situation. It shouldn't always be a fight. Matter of fact, a lot of times it doesn't have to be. Now, there are situations, and I can attest to this, where you actually aren't really doing anything wrong, but the arguments or the outbursts towards you are escalating or more consistent than usual. That generally happens when somebody's trying to break up with you or trying to make you or they're trying to belittle you to the point where it's justifiable just to get rid of you. It's a demoralizing demoralization tactic. It's actually basically verbal abuse. And that is actually them just trying to belittle you to the point where they can just kick you aside. That's exactly what that is. So you need to keep your eye out for that. But as far as the quote on her period move, I would throw that one in the trash. Let's move on to the next one. How can I repair things with my friend after I retouched nude photos that I didn't realize she sent as a sign of interest? I'm a 24-year-old male, took a few years in Photoshop, and consider myself to be sort of good at it. I have a female friend, let's call her Ella, who I met about a year ago. She does some photography and modeling as a hobby. Okay? To start off, I have a small photo retouching business. Nothing special, just a little side gig that makes me some cash on the side while I get my degree. Also, I have a business email set up that I use only for my business and nothing else. My friends know this, and they know to only send me things on it if they need work done. About 2 days ago, Ella sent me a text saying, hey, I'm going to do a shoot today. Would you be able to take a look at some of my pictures when you get a chance? I replied, yeah, sure. Just send them whenever, and then I get the time, I'll take a look. Okay. A few hours go by, I get the email. Now, let me say I'm not the most attractive guy. I'm pretty short, exercise regularly, but I'm not super fit. My hair is really hard to work with, and I feel like I could do a lot better in the looks department. Also, I've never asked for nudes from anyone. I feel like it's disrespectful. Also, you're setting up a lot of roadblocks here so this better be some significant payoff. Also, I never asked for nudes from anyone, and I feel like it's disrespectful. Okay. All right, so you're making yourself out to be a genuine guy. Let me know when the downfall is, bro. Also, I never asked for nudes. Also, I dated, but recently got out of a really nasty relationship that left me feeling pretty self-conscious. You and me both, bro. All this leads to the inclination that if someone is sending me nudes, it's probably not because they are interested. Anyway, I get the email, and it's about 20 nude pictures. Very tasteful and left nothing to the imagination. I figured she was starting an OnlyFans or something, and since it's her body, it's her choice, and I support my friends in everything they do, I touched them up early this morning. I just cleaned up some blemishes, got rid of some stray hairs and razor bumps, touched up some of the coloring. I also made a black and white set along with a bit of dodge and burn. The long and short of it is, I spent a lot of time on it. After it was all done, I sent back the edited versions with the message, hey, don't sweat payment. I hope this is what you're looking for. If you need me to take another look, let me know. He sent me a text maybe 15 minutes later saying, this isn't what I was looking for at all. I said, oh, sorry, I just wasn't sure what you wanted. If you want me to go back and redo it, I can. Then I get a text, it's fine, I gotta go, bye. Super confused, so I called her roommate, who I'm also friends with, and asked her if she was okay. She let me have it. She called me dense, stupid, a jerk, and many other things. Through the insults, I finally got the real story. Maybe I'm just naive, but I don't know why she would make it seem if she wanted me to edit them, she wanted me to look at them. This just happened before I typed the post. I'm really not sure what to do. My last relationship kind of made me weird with dating, so I know I'm not ready. I want to feel like I'm worth something before I start dating again, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like I did something wrong. Is there anything I could do to save the friendship? Well, okay, so let me get to the meat and potatoes here. So I have a business email set up only for my business. Okay, all right. You have a business email. Hey, I'm going to do a shoot today. Would you be able to look at some of the pictures when you get a chance? Yeah, sure. Just send them over, and when I get a time, I'll take a look. A few hours go by. I get the email. Okay. So you do this on the side. You do this stuff on the side, and she's going to a photo shoot. And take a look at some of my pictures when you get a chance. Does this person know that you do this, you're a professional photo editor? Or that you are getting into the business of doing that? Okay, that means you have a keen eye for it. All right, so there's one thing. Now, these photos, if you are the one who's actually doing the editing, are these the raw shots? Which means that she hasn't gotten those are just the raw shots. Generally, a photographer does not release. If you're going to a photo shoot, they don't release the raw video. The raw pictures. Those are kept in-house so that when they're edited, they're released to the client. You generally don't release the raw footage. So there's a huge miscommunication here. If they sent you raw photos that you actually had to tighten up, unless the other person didn't do a good job, you did this on a business. You did this in the perspective of a business. You got it in your business email. Then you touched them up and then sent them over there. So, and this is just a friend of yours who just out of the blue sent you some really exposing pictures, and then it's like you touched them up and sent them over. It's like first of all, there's way too many mixed signals. You were nice enough to edit them and send them over, and you didn't You didn't make it personal. So I think you were not only just a gentleman about this, but you were professional. I think that was the whole point about this. You were being professional, and then because you're really sweet, apparently, you decided not to accept any payment. Okay, that's fine. Well, it's fine, I gotta go buy. Okay, so you didn't do anything wrong. As far as salvaging the friendship, that's over with. That's done. Forget that. And if you're not ready for a relationship, then that's that too. You're just that's done. Okay, you don't have a relationship? Well, don't worry, you don't have one. And the friendship, that's gone too. So there you have it. Just don't respond. Don't respond. If they're still communicating with you, just say, look, you sent me professional, unedited photos to my business account. My job is to edit them and touch them up, or give you advice on how to edit them and touch them up. That's my job. You sent me something in my business account. If you actually meant for me to look at them and say, hey, really nice, then you send them to a different account, or we sit together and we look at them or something like that. But clearly, hey, I'm going to get a photo. I'm going to a photo session where they're going to shoot pictures of my cooch. Let me know what you think. Hey, you know what? She needs to be a little more clear-cut about what she's expecting of you when she sends you those photos. So it's 100% on her for not giving you the clearest signals, especially if you're somebody who just got out of a really, quote, nasty relationship and you're not really sure what kind of signals are heading your way. So that's on her to fix that problem and not yours. And I'm sorry it sucks that, you maybe lost a friend or potentially more, but what does she expect of you? It's fine. I gotta go. Bye. Like, okay, that's basically her saying, like, F you for not thinking I'm perfect or something. It's like, let's not play this game. Let's not do this. You obviously liked the photos, sent them back, edited the way they should look, because it's a photo shoot. You're supposed to edit this stuff. So if this is any foreshadowing of the way she's going to act in an actual relationship, then it's not a relationship that you want to be a part of. Go on to the next one. Should I try to find out which of my colleagues bought me a video of a porn or giving me holiday wishes? Easy answer, probably not. I'm a mid-level employee on a team of about 20 within a larger organization. I started in 2019, though we've all been remote since March of 2020. This year, our manager organized a Secret Santa with the caveat that all gifts needed to be sent through some form, contactless delivery. Most of us created Amazon wish lists in case our gift giver wasn't sure what to get us and wanted the option to have something shipped to our door. I received my gift late last week to my non-work email, and it was a video message from a service that lets you buy personalized messages from celebrities. The message was from a woman I didn't recognize, who, after a Google search of her name, I learned is a prominent porn star. In the video, the woman is not wearing anything scandalous and wishes me a happy holiday and fortunate new year. The video itself is actually very sweet and pleasant, but I'm confused after discovering this person's sole occupation appears to be in porn. It doesn't say who the message is from the video. She just says, your Secret Santa wanted me to wish you a happy holiday. Be clear, I have nothing against sex work. I particularly hate the way people push adult stars to the fringes of polite society while simultaneously... Just get to the point, stupid. But it still feels some sort of appropriate for an office Secret Santa, right? I have no idea who would have sent this. I don't have any private jokes or long histories with any of the coworkers to explain this. I have no aversion to the nice holiday message from an adult film star. Our office has some puritanical tendencies, and this would have been horribly received by some of my coworkers. Long story short, but I try to find out who my Secret Santa was. I mostly just want to know the intention behind this. My only concern here, mostly, is that I'm somehow giving off the impression day to day that this gift was a good idea. If something in my office behavior is telling people that it'd be well received to send a video from a porn star, I want to correct myself. Second, a friend suggested I raise this to my manager. No, okay. All right, no. We don't, okay. Okay, every time this shit comes up, it's the same goddamn answer. No, you never bring this up to management. You never bring this up to HR if it's something silly like this. You just don't do it. Because you have to understand, the minute you bring this up to human resources, which is management equals human resources, this whole thing falls apart, and then nobody trusts you as an individual. This is the problem with working in office environments. You can't be a part of them because this is the shit that gets out of hand, and the next thing you know, somebody does go to human resources, and then somebody loses their fucking job. You don't understand that. Every time you ask this question, there's only one way to answer it. No. It's on you to just leave it alone. You want to find out who your Secret Santa is? No. First of all, that's the whole point of a Secret Santa, stupid. SSS. Secret Santa, stupid. It's so you don't know who sent it to you. And you're not going to have, there's not going to be, say you get this video, you report it to HR, guess what? There's no Secret Santa next year. So you're basically, because you think it's important to bring this up, that you think it's a good idea, you're going to ruin the Secret Santa for everybody else who's hoping for that free bottle of fucking Tito's vodka or that calendar that they've been hoping for, something like that. It's like, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Let your coworkers be a little wrong every once in a while. It's kind of important. You think everything's supposed to be right in an office environment? Jesus, no, you got that wrong. A lot of people make mistakes in office environments. The reason they do is because they're so goddamn uptight. You have to let this go. You have to leave it alone. You have to move on with your day. Happy birthday, by the way. Or happy holiday, whatever. Should I forgive my boyfriend for calling me a boring loser, saying he only dates me to make his friends jealous? Jesus Christ. My boyfriend and I are on the verge of breaking up, I guess. I am devastated because I was thinking this relationship would lead to marriage. His approach to the pandemic has made me nervous. Throwing caution to the wind, no mask except when absolutely required, weekly meetups with large groups of friends. We've had several arguments about it, escalating to the last one where he told me I was always acted like a boring loser. That's kind of harsh, but maybe he's right. He couldn't take it anymore. By always, he meant how I exercise every day and eat healthy and how I am serious about my job. It was like a lot of pent-up anger came pouring out. When asked why he was with me, it felt like that way. He laughed and said because I was hot and it made his friends jealous. He's been texting me a flood of apologies saying he didn't mean it. He made it all up and he was mad. It sounded like the truth to me. Is it possible he made it all up? He pushed me to loosen up before. He's pushed me to loosen up before, but never called me boring. I really thought he loved me. I'm so brokenhearted. How do I figure out how he really feels? I think this is... Well... All right. First of all, throwing caution to the wind. No mask except when absolutely required. Weekly meetups with large groups of friends. Okay, well, he likes to meet up with his friends. Nothing wrong with that. As far as the mask thing, we're going to debate that at another time. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. He doesn't want to wear a mask, then he doesn't wear a mask. That's not your way to say. If you eat super healthy and you're always working out and you're, what was it? I exercise every day, eat healthy, and I'm serious about your job. Okay, that's a great thing. Good for you. Congratulations. He wants to chill out a little bit. Maybe you guys just aren't compatible at all. Maybe you guys just aren't compatible. You're with him for certain reasons. He's with you for certain reasons. Maybe you're just not compatible. As far as you, I commend you for exercising every day, eating healthy, and being serious about what you do to pay the bills. I commend you for that, period. I also commend him for being for being free, telling the masks people to fuck off, and hanging out with large groups of friends because that's how he enjoys his time, because he wants to enjoy his life. So I commend you both for choosing your own paths in life. However, I just don't think your paths are going to cross for that much longer. And I'm sad to say that maybe you guys need to kind of come together and then eventually part ways permanently. On to the next one. Can I sue my former doctor for not telling me that my estranged family members works for them? I recently found a note that said one of my family members who has done a super job of avoiding me for many, many years is alive and well. Not only is she super well, but she has a job. The job is in healthcare in an office where I used to be a patient of their doctor. Do I have the right to sue? I would never have consented to a member of my family partaking in care. If I think you only have rights to a right to sue is if if there's an actual conflict of interest. However, if you have, and it depends on the state and it depends on the situation, but I think it's basically, look, if somebody works for a company that you're a client of or a patient of or a customer, if there is a legal situation where I think they have the right to work where, I think they have the right to work there. You have a right to be a patient there. They, however, they have absolutely no right to say that you are a patient. They have no right to say, and I mean this legally, they cannot say that you're a patient. They cannot say that you came on a certain day, and anything beyond that. They cannot say what you were there to visit for. They cannot say there's a lot they can't say. And that's almost everything. They cannot. I don't think they can even confirm that you're a patient. HIPAA is very, very strict. HIPAA, also a violation, is very, very expensive. So I don't think you have a right to sue. You do have a. Do you have a right to know if somebody else is work? Well, look, it's a healthcare company. Can they look up your information? Yes, they can. Well, if they're physically able to access the database, I'm sure they can pull it up. You know, I mean, I've been able to look up my own information. Not anymore, but the thing is that it's in poor taste that they do, and also if they're caught looking up your information, there is grounds for discipline in that nature because there's no reason for them to look at your information unless they specifically ask you to. That's the thing. So I don't think you have a right to sue unless you have proof that there's been some malfeasance being done. That's the right word to use. Other than that, I think it's just you need to terminate if you want to just not be a client there or a patient there anymore, I think you would just leave it at that and call it a day. This is a good one. This is more my speed. How should I respond after my wife put dog vomit on my desk? My wife is very protective of our dog, Spencer. I agree with her that Spencer should not receive table food. Yesterday, my wife put a large pile of vomit on my desk. She said it proves I have been feeding Spencer. Her accusation is not true. I may have done some peculiar things in my time, but I've never put vomit on someone's desk. How should I respond? Well, all different dogs have very upset stomachs, and I mean, even I have learned this, that depending upon what you feed them, if you're constantly changing foods, this can upset their stomachs, and it's going to come out one way or another. And this is something that you need to figure out, whether through like a holistic veterinarian, or trying out certain foods and being more involved with your, four-legged son, and figuring out what's the best course of action with them. And yes, you can easily overfeed a dog, especially dogs with more muscular structures. It's entirely possible that it's not that you're overfeeding them, it's that you're misfeeding them. And these things need to be addressed. And also, the dog could be one of those dogs that, like, if you drop food, it's constantly following you to eat the dropped food. It's constantly sniffing around and licking random things. And it could lick up the wrong thing, and it can cause them to get very, very sick. And yeah, that's absolutely something that you need to take into account. So always having like a clean kitchen, and making sure that you know, for the most part, what you're feeding your dog. And I think that's something to really take into account. But if you are telling the truth, you've never fed the dog, or whatever her accusations are not true, then you just go over the plan with the dog. I mean, obviously she was upset about the large pile of dog vomit, but look, this is your wife. It's your job for you two to work it out and not flip out. It's just dog vomit. Yeah, it's gross, but whatever. Dog pukes, you clean it up. I've done it, and I'll continue to do it because I love my pupper. Speaking of which, I gotta close up shop because I gotta get packed because I have an enjoyable weekend ahead of me, and so I just want to say, it is a great day for people's right to choose. It is it's a day that I celebrate with each and every one of you. Believe me, there's a lot more that needs to be done, There's a lot more that we can do. And for those of you who are still having to put up with this because maybe you work in the healthcare field that's federally funded, well, now you have a way out. So just know, go find your avenues where you can make options if it's necessary, and we'll see where this goes. But I have been following this. I was quiet about it for a while, but I could feel like I can't be quiet any longer. And today's a good day. Today's a very, very good day. And I have a lot of arguments to say that why that is so. So you guys know where to find me, anywhere where podcasts are available. Podcast video version, you can find it on Facebook.com/POS Sarcasm, Rumble at Positive Sarcasm, and of course YouTube Positive Sarcasm Podcast. So in the meantime, I know the week is a little bit shorter, but like I said, I'm in demand. And I mean that like as far as the business goes. In the meantime, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing, and I'll talk to you all next week. Recorded here from the Sandbox. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.